Welcome once again to another episode of Explore Grant County. Thank you for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. Today, I have a special guest with me, Ray Blum, the owner of Dairy Queen.
Yeah, I'm not sure how special this is, but...
Oh, yeah, they're all special. You can be like my brother. He's like, well, a lot of my teachers called me special.
Yeah, my mother never did.
But it is great to have you here today. And, of course, summer is just peeking around the corner, you know? And, of course, not that you can't get ice cream in the winter. I do. It's like... In my family, it's at least once a week.
Well,
we got to get milkshakes.
Yeah, wintertime is a rough time at Dairy Queen just because we rely so much on ice cream sales, and they're only a quarter of what they are in the next month or so.
Yeah.
So wintertime, 3 months of the year is rough.
It is, but we can still get ice cream, so go get some ice cream.
Exactly.
Or, and forget about ice cream, you've got a full menu, which I hear you're doing a little... tweaking. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, Dairy Queen came up with, they've always been known as sort of an ice cream leader. But if you talk about Dairy Queen in the burger sense of the word, never a big player. And so they wanted to revamp their menu, and they've come out with what they call the stack burgers. This probably doesn't matter too much to everybody before, but before we'd have a small burger, small bun, big burger, big bun, just double the number of items. Dairy Queen, I always thought, had a confusing menu. So now they've gone with one size burger, one size bun, and everything on the menu can be done as singles, doubles, or triples. And new burger patty, so it's has a great taste to it. And so they're revamping how we do things, trying to maybe break into that burger market just a little bit. So our food sales stay strong throughout the year. Hopefully this will push it back up a little bit, and people should come out and give it a try. I'm always wondering, is this really different? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, well, give us an idea for someone who might not have had a lunch or a supper or something on the go. Give us an idea of what that menu consists of.
Sure. And I'm going to hit with the value meal first because, Petersburg is not Chicago, New York, or a big city. The Dairy Queen there might do $2 million in sales. We do a third of that maybe because we are a small business in a small town. We don't have a lot of money like the other stores do. And when I look at prices of Dairy Queens, even as close as Winchester or Kaiser, they're going to be a lot more than I am. But for those of us that are on what I would call a budget and you want to get a good deal, we always have what we call the $6 and $7. We used to call it the lunch special, but it's all day long. So for $6, you can go in, get two different kinds of cheeseburgers, fries, drink, and a sundae. $6.
Right. So
if you total that up,
fries, drink, sundae, and the burger.
Right.
For $6.
Right. And then the chicken strips,
wow.
It's $7 meal. So 3 chicken strips, fries, drink, and a sundae. And if you were to total that up and buy a burger, fries, a drink, and a sundae, you're going to go close to $10 probably. Yeah. So that's a good deal. So no matter what we have going on, you can always, you can take the family out, and $6 a family. It's hard for each person. So yeah. That's hard to beat. Besides that, then, one of my favorite burgers, what we call the flamethrower, which has jalapeno mayonnaise, jalapeno bacon, and jalapeno pepper jack cheese. And so it's spicy. It's not killer spicy, but it's got a good kick to it. We had that before, and it was only done as a half-pound burger. So now you can get it as a single, double, triple. We have the traditional cheeseburgers, what I would call double cheeseburgers. Again, single, double, triple for those that are hungry. Triples, half pound. That's good. We still have a lot of maybe the old burger menu, which would, let's say, a bacon and cheese, has all the fixings to it. Mayonnaise, ketchup, pickle, onion, lettuce, tomato, cheese, plus bacon, single, double, triple. And the menu like that goes on and on. So it's pretty much anything from a single cheeseburger, a double cheeseburger, something real fancy with all the fixings, add bacon, or do a flamethrower burger. I have to laugh because I remember this elderly lady ordered a flamethrower, and I'm like, well, I guess she knows what she's doing. And she came back a little bit later and said, "This is pretty hot." And I said, "Well, hence the name,
flamethrower." Hence flamethrower.
Just gave her another one instead. So give us a try on the new burgers. The one thing that is sort of been a long time goal for me, and again, who cares really? But I'm the owner, so you want to give as good a product as you can. We've always had what we call flat grill. A lot of places use that. We're going to as soon as I hit into maybe middle of March and money picks up again, I'm going to order. It's going to be a flame grill.
Okay, yeah.
Broiler. And so it's going to give that taste to the burger like you cooked it on your own grill. I've been wanting to do that for 13 years. And either there's been other Dairy Queen initiatives that have taken money, or we've remodeled, or things come up that, other things took priority. Well, this is going to become a priority. So that'll be the last of my kitchen upgrade to get us to where we need to be. So hopefully by April, we have the flame grill burger in place, which I think it's pretty yummy.
Yeah. I mean, there's something about that flame. I mean, I cook stuff on. I have a flat iron grill, and I cook stuff on there, and I'm like, yeah, it's all right. But every once in a while, you get that grill going, and
I grill all year long.
Yeah, you need that.
Yeah.
Don't tell me though. Just please don't tell me that you're getting rid of the chili dogs, because my dad would be so disappointed. That is his favorite chili dog.
No, they're on the menu. I can't really think of a whole lot that's disappeared. They did away with the barbecue sandwich. We didn't sell much of that, but we still have, the chili dog, chili cheese dog. Chicken strip baskets. This is an interesting time to be in the restaurant industry because prices are skyrocketing, and that's why that's no longer a $6 meal; it's a $7 meal. And a lot of our other baskets are probably going to go up in price a little bit. A case of chicken strips used to cost like $46, $48, and we're talking about not years ago, maybe 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And now they're $76. And I just got to notice they're going up another 20%. And you just cannot, there's only two things I can control: labor and food costs. And I actually had somebody come in and tell me, your prices are too cheap. And I knew they were, but man, I hate raising prices, but you got to stay in business. You
do. But let's even say, even when you're going up to $7, you're still with the competitors in your market.
Cheap.
You're still under.
Yeah. And I just did a little price bump. I kept it as small as I could. I went to the lowest recommendation Dairy Queen had. And prior to that, if you were to take a comparable burger and go somewhere else in Petersburg, I was $3 cheaper. And I'm like, if people realize this, they would be coming here more often.
Yeah. And they're very good burgers.
Yeah.
And you said but you're doing a different one, so I can't wait to taste it to see.
Oh yeah, the new one's really good.
Yeah.
So bear with me on a little bit of price increase. One time I raised my prices 10 cents, and this lady said, "I'm never coming back again." I was like, I should have raised it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But that's how it is.
But listen, people have to realize now we are in a market that is just, everyone is getting hit.
Oh, yes.
Everyone is getting hit. My brother, the very first podcast that we talked about, his business was shipping containers, and the shipping container cost went from $2,000 to $20,000 overnight.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I think we all have to band together and realize that, let's say all of our local businesses, we're not doing this to be billionaires.
Nope.
No. I mean, if it was, we
all just want to stay in business.
Yeah. And we want to help the community. And let's put it this way. The local businesses do give back to the community too, because we're who they go to get a donation for their T-ball, for their trip they're taking or whatever.
Right. At one time you get people walk in all the time. Will you donate to so-and-so's in a hospital? And we're doing, we donate to everything. And one time I kept track of it just for a year because I was curious. It was over $9,000, which I think is a lot for a little tiny
for a
business.
little business. It is.
Like me, so I'm pretty happy with that. I don't think I've ever turned anybody away. So
Well, that's
that
great.
doesn't mean to come in and ask.
Well, so new menu going on, new grill. I guess another thing that we have to hit on is the same problem that every business is having, and that is getting workers.
Right. And yeah, I'm not alone, but when I moved to West Virginia way back in 1978, there was a lot of rumors. I didn't know what I was coming to. When I moved here, I found the people of West Virginia were the very best. I mean, I almost get teary-eyed because I can remember I ran the visitor center at Seneca Rocks. I met Buck Harper and just a whole host of those people. And I said, these are just saints of people to give you anything. And it was a hard-working crew. You never had a problem. And I've been doing restaurants now since about 1990. Always had a surplus of applicants, especially high school kids looking for their first job. We've been advertising now, have it on the door and other places for 3 weeks. I don't think I've had one application come back. I'm like, what has changed? And so I'm putting out a plea out there. If you're a parent, you got a high school kid at 16 and they want to make a little extra money and get their feet in the door, send them our way, please.
And I'll be honest with you. I look back at it, and I was made to go to work at a very young age. And you, as a teenager, you hate it. But I'm telling you what, the responsibility it teaches you, getting ready for the real world when you have to work, it's a big plus to have, even if it's a summer job.
Sure.
It's a plus.
Right. And I call myself Daddy Ray because I take these new kids on. And I was the very worst. I grew up in Chicago. I think I was 14 or 15. I started working at Burger King. And they fired me. And they said, some people just don't belong in the restaurant business. I'm like, she was probably right.
And here you are years later.
Yeah, but I always worked, 2 and 3 jobs. And so when they come in, I think of what I was like at 16. It wasn't pretty. You don't care about anything. But I go, look, I'm treating you as an adult. I'm not your dad. If you do something wrong, I'm not spanking you. But we want you to do things right. So we're going to train you. If you're not doing things right, we're going to tell you, hey, modify your behavior a little bit. Don't take it personal. This is just how it is. We got to do things right. Got to do things how Dairy Queen says, not how Ray wants to do it. And it's sort of interesting to see how that whole process unfolds. And so we sort of take them under our wings and try to get them to look at the world through adult eyes. And I always say, don't burn a bridge. If you work here and you don't like it, rather than just not show up or not call because you're afraid, just say, hey, the job's not for me. Let me work out my week. And then when we get a call for a reference, we'll go, hey, it's a good kid. This wasn't the job for him, but he did everything right. So, so there's a little benefit. And because we are a small business, we might have 20 employees, 2023. We can take the time to sort of mentor people and I hate to use that term, be friends, but we're not like a corporation where you're crank the whip and, so we work with everybody and try to do what we can to have a good employee and help them grow.
So say my son or daughter is at home playing video games all day and I'm like, okay, you got to get off the sofa and get a job. Where can they apply?
Just come to Dairy Queen.
Just come to Dairy Queen.
I don't have an online site.
Okay.
Just come in and apply. And we usually do 1 to 2 interviews. They come in, we'll talk to them, and then we'll set up a second interview and then pick them up right then. And we have flexible hours, so kids are in sports. Everybody goes on family vacation. I love to go on vacation, so I understand that. So we work with people on whenever they can work.
Okay, so go get your application today. Good place to work. You'll see my smiling face quite often, at least once a week, as I have to get my ice cream fix. I have to. It's the milkshake, the chocolate milkshake, and I never change. Everyone's like, "Are you going to get something different?" I'm like, "No, I like the chocolate milkshake."
It must be low-fat ice cream because look at me. I eat it every day. And I have to laugh. I went to the doctor's not too couple of years ago, actually, and my cholesterol was high. And he goes, Ray, you don't have the right body type for that. And I said, let's see. We've gone from Pizza Hut to Ponderosa to KFC to Dairy Queen. I said, I'm pretty well doomed.
Yeah.
Because I eat it all the time. So
Yeah, just be like, be happy I'm not bigger, right?
Exactly. Luckily, I'm really hyper. So
yeah. So tell me some other things about Dairy Queen, some things that you might have going on. And
we're just trying to build up, get ready for the summer season. Of course, Dairy Queen's always been a place to celebrate with ice cream treats after a ball game or whatever. And again, my favorite part of the job is I'm a talker. So if you come in Dairy Queen and sit down and we're not getting killed, I like to go out and talk to almost every customer I can. Sometimes I sit down at the table if I know you, and we chit chat. So summertime ice cream, celebration time. They sort of go hand in hand. We have a lot of ice cream cakes. My wife takes on that job a lot.
Did I see that you had like an ice? It was something on an ice cream cake in a sundae or something.
We call
what was
it
that?
A cupcake.
Okay,
and that just came up on the app, and I wasn't paying attention to it because we don't sell that many. And all of a sudden, I was getting like 6 a day, and I'm like,
yeah,
something's going on. And it's just like we make it just like a cake's made. Chocolate ice cream on the bottom, cookie crunch, vanilla ice cream, and then we put some icing or frosting on it.
Oh wow!
And it sells for the cost of a large sundae. So
wow,
it's a one person cake.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, that is the neatest thing.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's great. But we go through a lot of cakes, and they're good. What can I say?
Yeah,
they're good.
My brother, I think he instead of like just a regular cake, he always wants like an ice cream cake or something. It's just that's his thing.
I never get tired of it, and I don't eat them a lot because you get an 8-inch cake which serves 10 to 12, 10-inch cake 12 to 14, or a big sheet cake which will serve over 20. It's me and my wife, and so we don't. If we have a cake, it's going to last a couple weeks, so I don't eat as much as I can. So every once in a while, we'll either splurge and get one, or if we screw one up, then we we're forced to eat it.
Yeah,
and I'm going, man, I should have had some more of this. So, good stuff.
So are there any specialty, because I know every once in a while the Blizzards do some specialty flavors. Is there anything on the horizon that you're allowed to let out?
They do. They go from a summer menu, which we'll probably get ready to do here real soon. Some of those are comebacks. They try new ones all the time. A good example of a fall menu would be pumpkin pie blizzard. Mm-hmm. Winter, they have one that's got peppermint candy and chocolate in it. That's really good. So yeah, we're getting ready to come up with here shortly the new summer menu. And even though we come up with those, all the traditional favorites are still there. And I always tell everybody, somebody's going to ask you for something out of the past, and you're not going to know what it is. Excuse me. And rather than say, we don't have it, we don't make it, ask them. They know what goes in it.
Yeah.
Somebody will come in and ask me for something like a Jack and Jill, and I'm going, what the heck is that?
Jack and Jill. So what is a Jack and Jill?
I forget.
So what you can do is you can let us know, private messages, and tell us what goes in a Jack and Jill, so we know.
If I'm going to guess, I'm going to say, I was thinking vanilla ice cream, chocolate ice cream. I think it's something like vanilla ice cream, hot fudge, and caramel, if I had to guess. But when somebody asks for it, I go, tell me what's in it. And so if you have a special, people come in and go, well, rather than get this, can you put this, and this in it? Okay. Yeah, we'll just do whatever. We want you happy.
So a question. Maybe you don't know, but what is the best-selling Blizzard flavor here?
Oreo. Yeah. And I like it because it's simple to make. I mean, it's one product. Dairy Queen has a habit of coming up with, and customers like them, a Blizzard that has like 4 different candies in it. And I'm like, what the heck are you all doing? Because they'll go, use this spoon for this flavor and this spoon for this. And you got high school kids and you're busy. Well, you're just taking the big spoon and putting them all in. And I'm going, and I tell them all the time, 2 items, please. But they don't listen. So, but Oreo and probably peanut butter cup. Or
peanut butter cup.
Yeah.
My daughter likes the Oreo. That's what she gets
That's
every time she goes.
Number one.
Yeah. I always wondered what, because every place is kind of different what people like, but that seems to.
And for all you coffee drinkers out there, which I am, we sell lattes, which is it has the Arctic Rush base in it, and then coffee, and then you could get just regular like that, or vanilla, or caramel, or chocolate. And then ice cream's blended in with whipped cream and all that. So,
ooh, wow, I'm
not a big coffee connoisseur of fancy coffee. So, but I'm sure there's something at one of the coffee shops that would be similar to.
Yeah.
But it sort of gives you that coffee fix and has all that nice ice cream goodness in it. So try one of those.
yeah. I didn't even know that was on the menu.
Oh yeah.
But see, here's my problem. I'm a one menu item, like one thing off of the menu. That's what I go for. And my wife is constantly, try something new.
Why?
I'm like, I know what I like though.
I'm like that. When I go somewhere, it's usually my wife. As soon as I sit down, my wife goes, "So what are you getting?" And I go, "I haven't looked at the menu yet." Well, you know.
Yeah.
I usually do.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a lot of that. But so we have, of course, all the food that we talked about. We have all the blizzards, ice cream cone sundaes, banana splits, lattes.
The banana split has been a staple forever, hasn't it?
Yeah, and that's really good.
It is. It is. Now, I can do banana splits. And when you said made to order, I like mine with 2 chocolates. One is a strawberry or cherry. Is it?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Both, yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't, if you're in there and my wife Edna's in there, she doesn't eat bananas. So one time I walked in and she had 3 banana splits with no bananas. I said, "Did you forget something?" I believe I did.
Yeah. It's like, wait, I'll give you a hint. It's in the name of it. What split?
Yeah, so if you see Edna in there, don't have her make bananas. I'm hoping she doesn't listen to this.
She's going to give you grief on it.
I get grief on everything.
Our wives have to do that.
Exactly. The one thing I do want to say, and I mean this from the heart, when I bought Dairy Queen, I'm going to say 13 years ago.
Has it been that long?
Yeah. I think I looked younger then.
Yeah, I did too.
I felt younger. But man, I kept it open all winter long. And I think, Mike, who had it before us, he tried it a few times, but usually it was open or closed during the wintertime. And I remember going, well, this would be a good business, and doing $300 a day. And I'm like, oh my God. I said, we're not going to be able to, you can't stay in business doing this. And in the very first year, Mike, I shouldn't, numbers, I don't care, I'll throw them out. Mike probably did $200,000 a year. I don't know how you stay in business doing that unless you have no expenses, no overhead. We did 325, not good enough. Then within the first 3 years, it built up to 500,000, and then we put in a drive-through, and God has blessed me since then. So now we're what I call a viable, self-sustaining restaurant that pays for itself. You used to have to borrow money every winter to get through, and it's all our customers and the local people that come in and that keep this business going. So I want to say thank you. I remember sitting there, I was applying for other jobs after I lost another restaurant, and I knew Dairy Queen couldn't afford to pay me, and it didn't for about 4 or 5 years. And I said, Edna, I've applied to all these jobs, and one of them was even working at the landfill. And I said, and I can't even get a job at the landfill. I said, I think I'm going to therapy. And my wife says, God wants you at Dairy Queen. I said, but I need to make God wants you at Dairy Queen. And about a year later, it all came together. And I got tears in my eyes right now. So I just want to say thank you to all the people that support us. And, we're humans. We're going to make mistakes. And I just want to tell you, if we make a mistake, all you got to do is stop in, call us, tell us we messed up, and we'll take care of it. It's never an issue. So
I remember when the drive-through went in, and I was like, "This is the coolest thing because I don't have to get out of my car anymore."
Yeah, everybody said, "How's that going to work?" And I said, "I don't know yet. We're going to find out because we didn't have the room to do it. Like if you go to, let's just say McDonald's, you drive through on one side, go around the back of the building. Well, we had no room to do that, so we had to use our parking lot to make sort of a U-turn. But everybody's adapted. It's worked out great.
But I tell you what, you go by and that drive-through has people in it at all times, doesn't it?
We would not be in business if we didn't have it, especially when COVID hit and all the dining room was closed. We did actually record sales, the most sales we have ever done. And almost all of it, I'm going to say 95% of it, because they did open up the dining room after a while, was done through drive-through. I don't know how my kids did that.
Yeah,
working.
You got to give props to the workers who worked continuously through COVID.
Sure.
Because, I mean, you know, some people... I have my sister-in-law. Still, they do not go into work. Still.
Yeah.
We're 2 years later. And I'm like, there's people out there that have worked through this entire thing. And we have to give them props.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was a little hard as trying to do a schedule or something. You have a crew and then kids will go back to high school and then all of a sudden I got like 4 quarantine you're like, now what do I do? So I worked a lot, and so did everybody else, worked a lot of days. And then you get your crew back and somebody else gets quarantined and you're like, here we go again. Hopefully those days are pretty well over, but it's been an interesting thing to go through, but we survived, and so has everybody else in town that I can think of. So
yeah, which was it was a little nerve-wracking at the beginning because you didn't know what was going to happen to the businesses.
Yeah, I was really scared because we came into it. It happened in March, and March is the very first month since November that we usually break even. And I said, we're done. I said, it's going to kill us. And for March and April were bad, and the rest of everybody adapted. Yeah. And then record sales. So,
yeah. Well, that's great. So, any last words you want to say? Anything do we forget anything about
probably not.
Dairy Queen?
It's been there for a long, long time. Probably, I'm going to guess 60 years. It started up as a little walk-up ice cream stand, and then the sites is added onto the dining room. So it's been here a long time, and I hope that, I'm going to retire in probably 4 years, and I hope...
You're not that old, are you?
God, I love you. I don't care if you lie, just make me feel good. But I'm hoping that, we have steps in place with somebody's interested in buying it. It's a good business, but I would hate to see something like that go by the wayside in Petersburg, because Petersburg needs all the businesses it can get. So
yeah, it does. So remember, changing out the grill.
Yep.
Flame broiled, is that what they call it? Char broiled? I don't know.
Either
flame broiled, whatever. Getting a new kind of revamping the menu with the singles, doubles, triples.
Right.
$6 and $7 are the cost of it, which I still can't believe that's the cost of a meal on that. That is amazing.
Now that's just for the 3 items that are in the
value
3
meal.
items.
Yeah.
Sure. And it's getting to be summertime, so bring your ball teams and things in and celebrate wins and losses.
Yeah.
And I just want to say thanks for all of you that have been customers over the years, and I'm looking forward to it breaking loose this spring.
Okay, so in case you have been living under a rock and you don't know where Dairy Queen is, it's across from Judy's Drugstore.
Exactly.
First, I would
next
hope
to Schaefer's Funeral Home.
Yes.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So there you go. You can come check them out. Ray, I appreciate you spending time with us today.
Oh, thank you. This is always fun.
Yeah, it is. And then we try to be just, have like just a conversation between two people.
That's my way of doing it. I'm not very formal.
Yeah, we talked just not too long ago. The other night you came out and talked to us for 10, 15 minutes because I did not know you had lived in Chicago. And of course, my brother had just moved here from Chicago.
Yes.
Yeah.
His wife looked like she was adapting.
It's a cultural shock.
Yeah, my first wife didn't make it. She went back. Might have had something to do with me though too. But.
Oh my. Well, I will say I moved here. So you moved here in 78.
Yes.
I moved here in 88. So I was 10 years behind you moving here. And it took me years. I'm talking a good probably 10 years till I was like, you know what? I live here. I'm dying here. My kids are, going to be part of this community. What they do, I don't know, but I love it here. And because once you get, and it does take a little getting used to. Sure. If you're from the city, it does. But I love it. Yeah. I love it here.
And I started out with the Park Service and the Forest Service. So place that I worked was sort of rural, small towns, but they were never so far from a town like Cumberland or Winchester as it was here. And that was, I think my wife's, it took a while to get used to going an hour and a half to a mall. Now, Edna, my wife, she's like, well, let's go to the mall. And I'm like, didn't we just go? That was like 9 months ago. Really? Yeah. So I sort of turned into a homebody, and I love when I go to the meetings and you get people from DC and Baltimore. I just play the dumb redneck person. I just poured out him. The first time my boss came, he was from New York City, and he's talking about birds in the chimneys, and I'm talking about shooting them with a gun and all that. And I just wanted him to go home and go, man, that West Virginians are nuts. So I'm a West by God Virginian now.
Yeah.
And I'm not changing. I like who I am.
I love it. And like you said, the people around here know better people.
Exactly. They're the best.
Yep. So check it out. Dairy Queen, get all their new menu items, and remember, they're not just ice cream. We've got full-blown meals on there, so.
And apply.
And yes, kids, get out, do something. But I tell you what, and I know some kids don't realize that helps you in the future.
Sure.
It does help you. I mean, I know you hate it. I didn't like working. My first job was at 14 picking strawberries at Stegmeyer's in Cumberland. That was my first job. 25 cents a quart. That's what you got paid.
How many did you eat?
That was it. You could at this place, you could eat all you wanted, but you only got paid for what you brought, and it was 25 cents a quart. But it's taught me responsibility, knowing when to get up, making sure I was on time, knowing how to keep a job, knowing how to treat people, and it just helps you. Those people that have summer jobs, I would love to see a study to see if they become more successful.
That would be interesting. I've always gotten up at early. Well, since I was a kid in school, you got up at 6:30, 7, and a lot of kids nowadays, they get up at 2. I'm like, what? If I get up at 8 or 9, I'm like, I just wasted half a day. That's my mindset, So,
well, like you said, you're old, so you're in bed by 6 at night, right?
Not quite. I don't stay up till, I'll tell you, 11:15's it. I'm in bed. So, but it does teach you a lot.
It does.
Yes. And it may take you a couple jobs and a few years down the road to realize what you learned, but it sticks with you and it makes you a better person.
Yeah. Okay. Apply. Go in. Stop in at Dairy Queen while you're there. Get something to eat, but get an application and help out a local business to make sure that they can have the employees to serve me my weekly large chocolate milkshake.
You got it.
Thank you, Ray. I appreciate you coming.
God bless.
Everyone, explore Grant County. If you see this video, go like and follow for all the latest content. Everyone have a great day.